Today back in my Cotoneaster. That's been growing quite well so far. It's maybe not growing as fast as I would like, but I guess it is in a small pot, but either way it's been doing well, and you can see here it's looking overgrown, so I'm going to prune it back. I'm just doing the usual thing of pruning everything back to about 2 or 3 leaves, and then from there it should push out some new branches. I bought this tree from a nearly dead section in the nursery. I just cut it back hard and put it in some good soil, and it managed to survive. Since then I've been letting it grow out and then pruning it back, and from that slowly starting to build up to what we have here. It's still got a long way to go, but it's going in the right direction now. It is a great species. It has all the right proportions and it's pretty tough. If I was only allowed to have one type of species, I wouldn't complain if it was one of these. It's looking pretty good afterwards, but I've probably said it a million times really, but this tree needs some wire. Some of the branches are just not sitting at the right angle, and if I can get around to wiring at some point, I think it'll really help the overall look. In August there's not much happening, but it's happy and healthy. Put on some growth by September, and some berries have appeared too. It'll be slowing down for winter now, but it is a semi-evergreen, so it won't drop all its leaves. Well, this one actually drops the majority of them, but not all of them, and you'll see it stays pretty green for a long time. It has that real deep dark green colour. It's just awesome, especially next to those red berries. And you can see here in November how the leaves change. It's not all of them, just a few more inner, older ones tend to drop off. They go a pretty cool colour though, lots of little bits of red and yellow and everything in between, but still plenty of green too. Of course in February I'm going to prune it back and get it ready for spring. I think this was pretty much shortening everything back. You'll find it does send out multiple shoots in one place, which is annoying, and you will have to go through and remove a lot of these. But I think here it's okay, I'm just kind of ignoring any issues for now anyway. This would be a good time to wire, but I'm going to repot it soon, so I'll leave the wire for now, and I'll do that at some point this year, hopefully. In March you can see it start to burst into life. All the light green parts are the new buds about to open. So it's the perfect time to repot it, and annoyingly this tree has dreadful roots. It's pretty common for trees that start out as nursery stock to have awful roots. They're grown just to be placed in the ground, so they don't really care what the roots look like. As long as they're healthy, they're happy enough. But that doesn't really work for us. We need them to be healthy but also look a certain way so they look good and you can fit them in a small pot. Also, this pot is a nightmare. It's a weird shape and has a lip, so it's a real battle to get this tree out. You'll see it does seem to bend a lot when I'm manhandling it here, but that'll make more sense when you see the roots and realise that where we'd expect it to be roots, there isn't. You'll see it's a bit of a disaster really. It's not just a pot. These are quite aggressive root growers, so even the roots were what I wanted, I still would struggle to get the tree out. I've got like 60% of the way here, and I'm still struggling. I think out of all my trees, getting this one out is the most difficult. But it's out now and it doesn't look too bad. But you won't be saying that when I rake everything out. So here I've got all the soil out and you can start to see what a mess I've got. There's basically 2 root planes and the lower one is stronger. So the sensible thing would be to remove any of the higher roots, but you'll see in a second that the upper root planes kind of spreads out nicely and it drastically tapers in. So really I need to remove the lower section, which is a long-term plan, but when the majority of the roots are there now, I can't really just chop them all off. I need to kind of develop the upper roots enough that they'll be able to support the tree, while also not letting the lower roots get too developed at the same time. So it's a bit of a weird juggling act, but I think with time I can sort it out. So for the pruning I mostly left the upper roots alone, and then took the lower ones back pretty hard. I'll just keep doing that until I think the uproots are going to be strong enough to support the whole tree. Then I'll totally remove the lower ones. The good thing is that Cotoneaster is pretty tough, so while it won't be happy, it should be able to deal with this. But that's not what's happened today. Maybe next year we'll see. Although the work I've done here is pretty intense, so I have removed a lot from the bottom. Also, this uproot's quite long. There's no real good roots until quite far out. That's not ideal, and as much as I want to leave it for now, I won't. I thought I didn't go too hard on these roots, but clearly the video evidence shows otherwise. I honestly don't remember of half what I did here, so I'm glad I do document it. And this was left with, so that was pretty intense, but it'll help out in the long run. I then just pot it up in the same pot. There is plenty of space in there for it to grow into and get stuck again. There's not a lot going on in April, but it will be suffering from that root work. And if I bring you in closer, you'll see some of the older leaves are changing colour and dropping. It's done that many times before, so I'm not worried. And the new shoots will be fine, they'll be charging things up nicely. In May it's looking nice and vibrant, it's looking a lot better than last month. And if I bring you in closer again, you can see all that green. And here we are now where it's looking fine. There's even some flowers starting, so hopefully it starts putting on some good growth soon. Thanks for watching, see you next time.